Money soldier, I thought I told you. Only rockin' with the agent and the broker, yeah. Move over, we getting bolder. Making moves like the agent and the broker, yeah. Generational wealth, they bout that. Yeah, we took some L's, but we bounced back. Financial literacy, got that. Closing up the wealth gap, yeah, I'm black. Welcome to the Agent and Broker Podcast, hosted by Julian and James. And you know they bringing nothing but that black boss talk, man. Cause there's no currency stronger than the black dollar. And it's time we let the world know. But first we gotta grow though, and that's for sure.
Yo, what's up? What's
going on?
What's good? What's going on with y'all? James, what's going on? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It feels good to be here today, as always.
Absolutely.
Another episode in the pipeline.
Another episode, another week. Man, time is flying, man. Episode 13. Like, sheesh.
13
welcome,
episodes
guys.
Already.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of the Agent and Broker Podcast. I am your co-host, the Agent, Julian the Agent, license W626089, coming from Eatonville, Florida.
Absolutely. And my name is James Dennis, your license number W282336, down here in Orlando, Florida. Well, I'm not even Orlando, man. I don't know why I keep saying Orlando.
That's what people know.
That's what people know. Okay, so then I'm in Orlando because I'm like a few minutes away.
It's all good, man.
Yes, sir.
You grew up in the Orlando area, so
oh yeah,
that's what matters.
That's why.
But yeah, tonight, guys. Before we get into everything, we want to kind of recap over the past week and let you guys know what's coming up in the near future as well. So this past week, I'm going to let James kind of tell you guys what we were doing, you know, how we were out a little bit in the community doing some work, some outreach, some marketing, getting the podcast out there and reaching new individuals, just trying to bring this education, this word to other people. So James, go ahead and kick it to the people. Like, let them know what happened, what we did, and how the event was.
Yes, sir. Well, the event was amazing, man. I had you know me. That's my thing. I love these events. So we went to the Black Biz Expo. It was really, really nice. We got there. The first challenge we got, man. Remember that the piece that was broken.
Oh, the retractable banner. Yeah,
the retractable banner. Oh man, we got there. We're trying to. I'm gonna give you the story of what I did. Like literally, right? Hey, this is the podcast you guys gonna listen to. You gotta listen to the good and the bad. So we got there. Networking, setting up table, and then the retractable has a little piece that was broken. So we trying to take that tip off so we can replace it. We couldn't. Anyway, listen to me, man. I'm like, look, something gotta happen. I took that piece down to a restaurant and I find an employee. And I work in restaurants, so I know what's going on in there, right? I told the employee, hey, in a scale of 1 to 10, how creative are you? He was like, he looked at me like I was stupid. He was like 6. I'm like, okay, that'll do. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back in there and be very creative and take that piece off for me. And long story short, he couldn't even do it after like 10 minutes. But anyway, so
James was gone for so long. I'm like, where is he? God dang. He came back. It wasn't even done.
It wasn't done. I'm like, man, I was so determined too. But got back. We figured something out. We put the retractable together. It was very, very great, nice and professional. But anyway, the whole event was just amazing. As we were there, we set up, even from the beginning, people coming to our table asking about, the agent and the broker. And then we met so many great people on there, so many Black business owner, and who saw some great value in what we're doing. And many people say, I don't see stuff like that being done in a community like that, like we are doing it. So it was pretty cool. The event was from what time we got there? I know you got there before me. What time you got there?
Yeah, I was there around like 6, around like look, right on 6:30. So I was there around 6:30 and then left around like 5:36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6:30
So it was an all day
a.m.
thing.
Yeah.
On
But
the feet
overall, it
all
was
day.
good. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And
it was a great time.
If you follow us on social media, you're gonna see the pictures as well that we took. And I mean, I have to send a shout out to Kristen, bro. Like, bro, she showed up there and she was just like, she helped us a lot.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
anyway, it was a great experience, man. How did you feel about it?
I felt great, man. Honestly, I felt like it was a good stepping stone and a good, it was a success for us.
Absolutely.
That's our, I think, second one, but that one, was a bit better. We were a bit more aggressive. So, hey, letting people know. James was at every single table, I believe. Like,
Yep.
he went to every table and let people know what we do. This is who we are. And then people just came and, just having casual conversations and spreading the information about life insurance, finances, how to get from, point A to point B to point C and eventually go on. And I think people really were interested in learning more about, financial concepts and understanding life insurance. Like, and also from that event alone, we just had like our podcast views went up like crazy in the past 3 days. So that means people are listening, people are paying attention to that. So, that everything's working out, man. I feel like everything's working and moving in the right direction.
100%. Yeah, man. I'm very excited of where we're going. And like I said, I used to do those events for like almost 3 years straight. So I felt right at home, visiting all tables, just bring value to people. If I could do those every day, I'll do them.
For real.
But it was pretty cool. A great experience we have, over there. And people, man, it's just, when you feel energy, I don't know if you're watching right now, but there is something about a face-to-face energy. When you face-to-face with somebody, you can, I think we was talking to this young lady, telling her what life insurance is. She was like, why does that sound like a scam? Like, it's too good to be true. Like, being your own bank, So just bringing, that energy to the community and people feeling it, people seeing us, I think it was pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like you said, that extra help with Kristen, man. Honestly, like that was she gave a big boost to us.
Oh yeah.
She came in and got to work and was just coming in as like a guest. She just came and worked. So it was like, whoa, took pictures for us. So all of those pictures you guys seen, that was Kristen. So shout out to her. And she was, hard down telling her stories about life insurance and how it's impacted her life to people. And, a lot of we had lawyers we were talking with to people who were other business owners who didn't know much in depth about, what we taught and life insurance in general. So it was overall a good, a really good event, man. Really impactful, I think. And then I hope, that we are building off of that with our brand. And everybody, if you are listening, to this podcast, thank you. Even to our current listeners, everybody who's loyal every week, we appreciate you guys. We can't really do it without y'all. So thank you for tuning in. And
by the way, if you haven't download us on Spotify, if you haven't, go out there, give us a thumbs up, put a comment, and that really helped the content, really help us grow. So we don't take it lightly. We have I know last time we mentioned it was over 100 downloads, but we're looking to break that 1,000 mark. So with your help listening and sharing that to your community, to your families and friends, that will help us to bring the word out there so we can take advantage of what's out there for our family, our people, because everything just passed it keep passing us by. And for
Yo.
anyone who watch this podcast, who follow us, we want your life to change. This will literally change your life when you start understanding the concept of life insurance doesn't mean death. The concept of life insurance actually mean life. So that's what we were saying out there when we speak with people. The language was, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of life insurance? All the people like, when I die, when I die, I left something for my family. Except for one person. I remember this young lady. She was a life coach. She was like, oh no, you know this stuff. You can. When I think of it, I mean building wealth, money. I'm like, how do you know this stuff? Like, oh yeah, my friend. I keep asking me to take my life insurance license, and so yada yada yada. But 100% everybody we ask like, oh, when I die. No, life insurance is for life, and we're here to teach you that. We're here for you to understand that, and your life can never be the same after you hear this podcast. It's simply because we're here to bring you value. Now if you decide not to do anything with the value we bring you, it's totally up to you. But you can never say that we didn't put you in the game.
Right.
So
we didn't put you on.
We put you on.
We giving you. We're doing the hard work, most of the research, most of the groundwork, getting into the back of these policies, understanding them, and then we presenting it to you. So it's now up to you to take that, that next step and go to the next level with it. And whether it's with us or it's not with us, that's fine. Like as long as you are, covered, your family's covered, and share with a friend as well. So this is information we all need to know.
100%.
And then so that covers pretty much what happened this past week. Going into next week, we do have another guest coming on. It's another pretty dope guest. So he's a former NFL player, and now he owns a few companies. He runs a 6 to 7 figure trucking company. He has a brand building company. So it does a lot of good things, and he's going to come on, share his knowledge and views, and break down the trucking industry for you guys. And I can't wait to have him on. His name is Lawrence Sidbury. Went to Richmond, played for the Atlanta Falcons for some years as well. So he'll be on next week, and then following that, I think we'll be covering real estate, right, James?
Yep, we'll be covering real estate with Gene. Yep.
Gene's the man, y'all. So Gene is killing the game. I don't know exactly how many doors he has, but I want to say he's probably cash flowing maybe like $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month in real estate. But he does the full, and he does real estate full circle. So he does everything and it's like integrated vertically. So he does everything in-house, from taxes to real estate to helping people out, from building real estate agents. So he has an entire ecosystem. Yeah, he has an entire ecosystem of in the real estate game. So he's going to come on, share his knowledge and how he utilizes insurance as well to invest in his real estate. So that's going to be another dope guest I'm looking forward to. So we just want to bring y'all some announcements before we did jump into our episode tonight. So we won't be super long, because we know we kind of went over time last week with our previous guests. So we do appreciate Andre as well, Dr. Andre Baptiste. You guys check that one out. That episode will be up in live on Apple Podcast, Spotify in the next 24 hours. So we should be getting that one up there as well. So
that was a great one, man. That was an amazing one. So far, all our episodes have been great, and the whole concept of, we here teaching you life insurance, but we're putting you in other games as well. There's other things going on out there. We bring the contents, as you can see, we're going to have somebody from trucking, next on the next show. We're going to have Gene from real estate, and we had Dr. Andre last week. So it's just a lot of content that's going to be coming your way, because we really want to take this to the next level, and we want to take you to the next level. All our listeners, we want to take you to the next level, where we're going to take all our people, shift your mindset, and take you to the level where you need to be. When it comes to entrepreneurship, taking advantage of what this country has to offer, we're going to get you there. So I just wanted to say that, man.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
All right. So let's get into tonight's episode, guys. We're gonna be covering kind of a tough topic. So college, or let's look at the life insurance side of things. So it's a very very it's a touching topic, I think, because
It is.
it is so deep, and the advice that was given for generations to go to college and get an education, which was I'm not taking anything away from that. It was just, depending on the education and the degree that you did receive, it could have been very beneficial. But there's also a dark side that's not covered about that topic as well, is people falling short of not getting a degree that is in demand. So those in demand degrees are things like engineers, anything in the construction world, doctors, lawyers, things that are like, what are the people that came that they called for COVID, who worked during the COVID time, like nurses and all
the
of
first responders.
Yeah, those first responders and people who are it's a certain type of what they call the employees, essential. So essential workers, honestly, degrees in these things that are essential, but they don't tell people about the side of just getting a regular plain degree, because now you're competing with millions of other postgraduates. So you're going into the workplace with a simple degree, and you're not competing. Everything is competition. And once you get in there, if you don't have the connections, you don't have these different things, it can be hard to find a job. And I'm saying this is because I personally went through this process, and I went through that experience. And yeah, I had a degree, but my degree it didn't have enough weight to get me in the door anywhere. I didn't pledge to any fraternity or anything like that. So it was just all off of the resume, the degree that I had. But hey, I was trying to get into like something like the tech industry, things in that nature, and trying to, get into that field of work at the college. But I realized like that wasn't working, and I jumped into entrepreneurship because that's not working. This degree isn't going to work for me in the real world. Like, hey, yeah, I could have easily gotten a government job, something like that, something so easy, go sit on the postal office or in the government or in the school system, stuff like that. But I wanted to get something where it was more in demand. So the college. Being a college is a great experience, honestly. I'm not taking anything away from that. And the experiences that I've learned, the fun that I had, and everything, I don't regret any of it. However, when it comes to the student loans, and we're gonna cover this topic tonight, y'all. Student loans. I'm a dig into statistics. Hold on. Let's bring that up. Average student loan debt in America. Americans now owe an estimate of, what is that? Is that trillion, bro?
It's trillion.
$1.7 trillion in total student loan debts.
Yeah.
1.75 trillion.
Yeah. That's a big number.
This is debt. Student loan debts. Things that some people can't even afford to pay at the college. You can't even get a job to pay these debts, but you went into debt to get that degree. And it's not always bad. It takes, of course, some guidance and, people around you who can help guide you into the right career field if you're going to go that college route. So I'm not saying like college is all the way, like, don't go to college or anything like that. This is not what this episode is going to be about. You let me know, James.
No, that's not going to be what the episode is going to be about. And one thing I want to share with the viewers as well, personal experience with me in college. Before I went to college, I went through my cycle of learning about, the system of the education system. I went through a phase of learning a lot of things, right? And thank God I did that, because this is my story with college. I remember starting college, and I did a whole few semesters. But anyway, this was the story behind it. I went there, and I think I did like 2 or 3 semesters. In the 4th semester, they denied my financial aid. I don't know, some of you might heard that already because I said that story. They denied my financial aid. So I'm like, okay, I get denied. And I went to the office trying to figure out what's going on. Well, you got denied. And I until today, I still can't understand why I got denied, because it was the same income. Nothing really changed, but I got denied. Funny enough, a few weeks later, I received something in the mail from the school that I got denied. I think it was like $4,000 to $5,000 for the semester of financial aid. But yet I'm qualified for about $25,000 of student loans. Bro, think about this. Now, any regular person would like, oh shoot, that's 25 grand. I'm gonna go with it. Not only I'm gonna pay for my school, my class, I might have money left over. But
Right.
I educate myself before I get that letter. That's why right now, 0 student loan. I don't have any student loan. It was that moment I said, you know what? I will not go back to college, and I just take that letter and I just rip it in half and throw it in the trash. How you gonna tell me I'm not qualified for $5,000 in financial aid, but yet I'm qualified for about $25,000 in student loan? It don't add up. It does not add up. Now that tell you that $1.5 trillion we just put on your screen is legit.
1.7.
$1.7 trillion is legit, because 9 out of 10 people will do what? They'll grab that loan, and once you get the first one, you're gonna get the second one. You're gonna get the third one.
Yo, that's so true. Like, that's
Yep.
crazy. I was in college, and I didn't need student loans. I was blessed to have scholarships. But when I went to junior college out in Utah, I needed money. So I did go and get a student loan. And while you're in it, you don't think about that. You're not even thinking of the future of, oh, this loan is going to charge me interest. You're not even taught about interest. You don't even know about credit back then. Like, I know I didn't. I didn't know about credit. I didn't know about interest rates. I didn't know about how the loans work. I didn't know I had to pay them back right away. Like, these are things that they don't even teach you that in school while you're getting an education, and they're not even going to teach you how to pay that loan back. They're not going to teach you about credit. They're not going to teach you about anything finances, but they want you to take out a loan that builds interest like crazy as soon as you graduate. Like, they're literally allowing you to take $25K out, but not approving you for like a grant of $5,000.
It's crazy.
So we want to hit you in the back end for $25K. Like, take this happily, but when it comes to $5,000, you want to leave debt free. No.
Yeah.
So it's like the government got involved, and everybody's in business, from the colleges to the government. Everybody who's funding these loans is all in cahoots with each other and preying on the standard American population when it comes to college. 100%. And I'm saying that is because why would you not teach financial literacy, or teach these simple things before people go into college and to get into all of this debt? Because now you have a student loan crisis that we're in and we're walking into, where people are now talking about, oh, let's forgive the student loans. Like, that's a whole topic that people argue about when it comes to politics. Like, oh, student loan debt that's not Black issues. And they tried to correlate that with Black issues when it came to finances. It's like, oh, student loan debt is a Black issue. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, a lot of us did go to college and take on a lot of student loan debt. And we could read you the numbers for sure. Like, the numbers don't lie. It says today the average cost of 1 year at a public university is $21,370 from Nitro.com. In 2019, the median household income for Black immigrant population was $57,200, and then foundational Black Americans, so people who are from America, Black people from America and that lived in America, the median household income is $42,000, and that's according to Pew Research. So the numbers aren't adding up. If the average house or the median household income is 42 and the average cost 1 year at, a public university is $21,000. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Not everybody's getting scholarships. Not everybody getting a scholarship.
Numbers don't lie.
And I have student loans. I have student loans, and I'm gonna find a way to get out of paying them, bro. Like, honestly, like, you know me, I study consumer law and the Fair Debt Practice Collection Act and stuff like that. So I'm learning that low-key the student loan debt, man, and swiping that, student loans aren't even supposed to be on your credit report, but they report that to your credit. And it's good to have it if they're in good standing. Like, hey, yeah, it's a good it's a good account to have on your credit report for credit history if they are in good standing. But these are loans that you took out years ago, and they stay along with you for years, and they're hindering the average the net worth when it comes to Black households. And as we get into more of the research, you guys will see, like, you have to start asking questions. Why were we pushing college on kids? Is it because somebody said so? Who said so? The mainstream media? Did massa say so? You know what I'm saying? Like, who said to go to college? Why did we have to go to college? Why were we forcing our kids into college or forcing our people into college? And those are honest questions. Like, I would love to, if anybody wants to comment or leave any answers, please answer for me, because I'll be willing to know, like, 100%. Because you're not looking at the debt part of this. We're talking about massive. I've seen people with over 100,000 in debt from college, and their job pays about 40,000 a year. So how does that add up? Especially when you want to go in and purchase more debt, like a car, another house. You're just taking on more and more debt, and you're not even educated on how this works.
And part of this, of course, not part of this, the whole idea behind this is the education. Like you said earlier, we don't get, or they don't teach us about the debt, because psychologically speaking, you're looking to fulfill a need, an emotional need that may be attached to your education. Like, you want to finish your education because that's what society said. Now, how do they make money of that? Is okay. How do we make sure we show you that we're helping you? Well, they are in some way, but while we are helping ourselves, because this is the concept of money. If you're listening to this, you didn't know that, share this. The concept of money is that it has to keep moving. If the money is not circulating, if the currency is not circulating, then its value is being decreased. Okay, so if you are in college right now, or you have somebody going to college, of course you probably don't have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 sitting in a bank account to pay for college, right? So what is the alternative? The main alternative is the loans. The banks and those entities, they are looking for you to give you money. But now you said, hold on, if I work so hard to make money, why would somebody be looking for me to give me money? So the whole aspect of providing that access to fund for you is, in return, in the long run, they're gonna make way more than what they lend to you. Because that's how it works. So my kids, I believe it's my duty to explain to them how the system works. Because if you don't understand how the system works, or if you don't even realize there's a system that's actually, making everything happen, then you're definitely in the rat race. You're definitely gonna repeat. Your children gonna repeat where you are right now. And if it's not a good place where you are right now, why would you want your children to replace that? There is somebody that was speaking. It's tough to swallow, but the kids, they tired of us telling them what to do. Let me explain that to you. They're tired of it. It's like, hey, son or daughter, go out there and be a doctor, or go be an engineer, or a lawyer, or be a business individual. But mom, dad, don't tell me to do this. Show me. How come you never became a doctor? How come you never become an entrepreneur? But now you're telling me to go do it. That's what we do now. Whatever excuses we have to give to our kids, and I do call them excuses. It's a hard pill to swallow. I'm just venting right now. If I can look at my sons in the face and my daughter in the face and say, hey, the reason I didn't go to college, or the reason I didn't open a business, is because whatever that because may be. Hey, you was born, and then mommy and daddy had a lot of stuff to take care of. And so what are you telling the kids? They are the problem, that you didn't fulfill your dream?
Ooh.
America, listen to this. I'm tired of parents. I'm tired of parents going that route. I really am. So we need to start being the example that we need our children to follow. Because when we look at in certain communities, especially the wealthy, most of the children, they start picking up the trade and they end up in the same field. Now, you might say, oh, no, you was born with a silver spoon in your mouth. No. If daddy is an engineer and he's running a company, well, ain't nothing wrong with the child becoming the person who pick up the company to run.
At all.
Daddy led by example.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to go back on that side, but understand how that work. Understand that people are looking for you to give you money. Now, there is something in return. What they're giving you, the idea is for them to get an investment, to get a return on investment, and you're going to have to pay that through interest. And student loan is one of the best lucrative way to fund. Why? It's simply because those big entities, they know an 18-year-old or 19-year-old, they don't know anything about finances. They don't think about, hey, this gonna stuck with for the rest of my life. They don't think about that. Oh, you're gonna give me $25,000-$30,000? Yeah, I'll take it. What do you need from me? And then guess what? By the time they're in the 25, 30, guess what? They're like, man, I'm at $80,000 student loan and my job is paying me $35,000. Yeah, and welcome to the rat race.
It don't add up. They just literally played you and put you right where they wanted you. Like, okay, you're literally here. We'll give you money to go get a job to pay us back this money. Pretty much, like
pretty much.
Here you go. Here's your bread. Now pay us back. And now you're stuck paying back for a while. And I know there are programs out there now where people can buy houses with student loans. They're helping people, who have high student loan debt to go and purchase a house, which is a good thing. You have the ability to build wealth when you purchase a house especially now with the market going crazy. The housing market equity is driving through the roof right now.
100%.
Especially in Orlando, it's crazy, like crazy high. Everybody's moving here. So guys, y'all, you listen to this podcast and you're not from here, we are packed, we are full, we don't need anybody else. Like, Orlando cannot take any more, but everybody's moving here. It's crazy. Like Disney, they're moving their headquarters here. Like, companies are just moving over here to Orlando and is building, and people from Orlando are moving on the outskirts. They're moving to Davenport, they're moving to Polk County, Claremont, they're moving up north. Like, people are going to the country now because it's way more expensive than it was 5 years ago. And that just shows you, from college, people go in college, they come and get a job, and you go to college. You really only go to college to do one thing. I swear, like, this is the simple advice that was given. Go to college and do what? Get a job. That was the cookie cutter advice that was given for years and years and years to you, to everybody, pretty much. So you felt like, okay, my only way to success was through college. And is that really, if we look at the statistics, is that really true? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a touchy subject, because when you look at numbers, and even when you have people discussing, like, oh, people are progressing, like women are progressing, Black women are progressing, like, yeah, they are, and they're doing a great job. However, statistics show otherwise, and that's the thing. Like, you have these movements out here where it's like you're competing, women are competing against men, the feminist movement, and then you have that doesn't apply to our community. One, because we as black men and black men in general have never been really able to compete in America. So we don't own anything. We don't have any wealth. There's nothing to compete against. So there's no reason for men and women to really be competing in our community. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even make sense, because what are you really competing for? Like, I get it. White women were competing for, higher pay raises in corporate America and fair ways, fair wages in the workplace. But what are our women competing against? Because if you look at statistics, black men aren't thriving, not heterosexual black men. Like, we're not thriving in corporate America. We don't own, businesses where we have hundreds and hundreds of employees. We don't have that. That's not in our community. That's not regular. So where you have these numbers and statistics of student loan debt, let's get into them. Like, median wealth of women by age in a family structure. So y'all probably wouldn't even believe this, but poll was done, and this is done by Duke University. So the research has been done. The age 20 to 29, non-bachelor's degree, married black women, $4,000. This is the average net worth. With no bachelor's degree is $4,000. The single black woman with no bachelor's degree is $0. So that's the net worth. Now let's talk with a bachelor's degree. So the average black woman with a bachelor's degree married is $7,700. So the average single black woman with a degree, guess what it is? Negative $11,000 with the college degree. With the college degree, negative $11,000. So it's like, it seems to me marriage is the bonus, bro. Like, marriage is the key, and we have to even unwrap so many layers to even get back to that, to get into rebuilding healthy relationships in our community now. Mm-hmm. People, we've been fighting too long. Like, now it's time to start, healing ourselves and working with each other, because that's the only way we're going to build is through marriage. Like, that's how you build the next generations, is through family wealth. Like, there's a reason why the world is controlled by a few families. It's not rocket science. It's not like millions of people controlling everybody. It's a few families, probably like 10 to 15 families controlling the entire world.
The whole world.
Because somebody in their family took the time out to be like, okay, well, I'm going to teach my family and teach them from generations to come. Like, it's in the code. They wrote that in the trust. Mm-hmm. So these are real statistics. You can go and look this stuff up. Like, black women with degrees, single black women with degrees, net worth is negative $11,000, bro. And that's because of student loans. Like, come on, man. Student loans have killed people's pockets. When it comes to actual economics, student loans have made a bad impact when it comes to black wealth. And that's how they can predict black wealth hitting zero by 2053. It's simple.
The
student
numbers.
Loans.
You follow the numbers. Student loan is high, and it just don't make sense. So, listen, man, this is such a touchy subject, and we can have a whole episode in there. But let me talk to my black woman out here. Dr. Miles actually had a message. If you don't know who Miles Monroe is, I really recommend you go to YouTube. Just put Dr. Miles Monroe. One of the message he preaches, he says, if you want to destroy a nation, divide the families. Mm-hmm. Take the father away from the house, and then the work will do itself. Now you're looking in our community, like Julian mentioned, marriages is the key. Mm-hmm. Why? Because numbers don't lie. He literally just read the numbers for you. But this is let me get it 100 with you, right? My black woman out there and my black man out there. If someone can play with your emotions, they control you.
Yeah.
If someone control your emotions, they control you. Now, let me tell you the movement that's going on out there for targeting my black folks, our community, is women empowerment. Now, it sounds great, and I don't want to open that can of worm. But hey, listen, James here, I don't care about fire, right? I know fire get burned, and I'm okay talking about this conversation. Let me talk to you about woman empowerment. Now, if an idea can make you feel, or a movement can make you feel that they are with you, to feel empowered, then you will believe that you were empowered, and you will do things that are sometimes out of character to show you're empowered, like to show that you are powerful. Now, here's what's happening to a black woman out there. We have a whole movement out there to make you feel like you don't need a man, you know, and it's kind of nuts. It's kind of crazy if you ask me. The moment you have that mindset that, oh no, I don't need a man, I'm independent, you've been influenced by that. And the moment they can influence you by that, they are killing your next generation.
Yeah.
Because the moment you become a single mother, come on, there's no success there. And I'm saying that vividly. Now, I'm not getting into the emotional that, you know, a man that lied to you and give you a baby and then he's out the picture. Now he want nothing to do with you. And if you're a man, you're listening to this and this fits your character, I have little to zero respect for you because you're not willing to take responsibilities. But for my women out there, listen, educate yourself, understand how to have a strong mindset. Not everybody that say they love you that actually love you, you know. So the pinnacle of a family, there is a reason that we are failing financially as a community. And when you look at the statistic, there is no fatherhood in the household.
Right.
And we are not being taught the financial world where how money work in this country or anywhere. And because of that, now we have the reputation, you know, the blacks are like, you know, we're in the bottom of, listen, man, listen, I don't want to get too passionate about this, you know, but all I'm saying is my black men, black women out there, get yourself together because marriage is key. Think about it. For you to, I don't know if people knew that, and I don't know if that actually changed, so don't fully quote me on there. But for you to become a president of the United States, or for you to become a president, do you know you must be married? That's a requirement. There are some major powerful position that's out there for you to, like, even to be a pastor. I mean, I know there's some pastors out there like that. I'm not getting into the nitty gritty, but even for you to be a head of a congregation as a pastor, as a minister, there is some type of requirement you need to be married. And why? It's simply because if families are coming to you, women are coming to you, men are coming to you with relationship problem, but your house is not in order, you divorce, then it's not a good look for the community. So that's why you find most pastors out there, they have a family. Now, I'm not talking about the marriage is perfect. That's not what I'm saying out there. I'm not getting into the nitty gritty. But all I'm saying, it is powerful to be in a relationship with a man and a woman in our community where we are here to empower one another. The woman is there to support the vision of the household. You know, and I'm not here to preach you a sermon, but let me tell you something Dr. Miles Monroe says. Sorry, Julian, I just had to go. I just had to. He says, you know what Dr. Miles says? He says, okay, when you get into a relationship, you're married, the woman must submit into the man's vision. Now, your man must have a vision to do that. Now, how does he, like, I'm not going to go over the whole sermon, but the main point is, in a household, as a man and woman, if you have two vision, what is two? Division. So that's two vision in a household. So if the man has a vision, the woman has a vision, that means it's a division in the household because each of you are worrying about your own thing. But the woman must submit to the man's vision, and you become a helper to the men, and he go to the Bible and say how God created us, man and woman, and then men was there and woman become a helper to man. I mean, it's a great sermon, but the concept behind it is what I want to teach. I want our community to pay attention to, is that when you are in unity, when two people are in unity, magics happen, because the numbers don't lie. Because a single woman is negative $11,000 with a degree that's not married should tell you something. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say on that, man. I'm getting a little too passionate, deep. Julian.
No, I mean, that was good. That was deep, honestly, and it's the truth. It needs to be told. We need, we need more families, and we need to rebuild that. That's probably the most important thing, honestly. I used to think like, oh, it's just finances, but finances is one aspect. You have to bring the family together. You have to think that with finances, people make it, people have finances all the time and they have so many problems, so many issues. And it's because there's more to it than just money. And the relationships are key. So it looks like the key to this thing is marriage, and marriage is a business. So if you, and I know a lot of people may take what James said as a lot of women don't want to hear that, the submit word. A lot of them are scared of that word, submit. And I can understand why, because how the man has been, especially our black men in this country, honestly, been beat, brutalized, butt broken, everything you can think of for years and years and years. Target has been on our backs, on our face, on our necks. 100%. So it's like you have men out here who just don't really have any drive. They have no vision. They have nothing. They just tired of fighting. So it's like, hey, I might as well get to right here, get my job, and I'm good. And that's how they feel like they made it. But however, I think there's a disconnect where we don't know each other truly. We got away from human nature, and we don't understand true human nature, and how women operate and how men operate, and what are the differerences, and that there's uniqueness in the differences. Like no one is better than the other one. There's things women can do that we can't do, and there's things that we can do that women can't do. So, coming together could solve all of these issues, from student loan debt, going to college and taking on all of this debt. Like, I know another touchy subject is, what would you say, like, would you marry somebody who had hundreds of $1,000s in student loan debt? Like, that's controversial. Like, how did you look at that? And would you even date somebody or even marry somebody like that? Like, I have to take that into factor. Like, I don't know, bro. Like,
like,
has to be
are you asking me the question, or?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a tough question. Like, you imagine having somebody, dating somebody, and them having, and you're talking about marriage, and they have over $100,000 in student loan debt that you have to eventually take on. So
my answer may not be the most popular answer, right? I was fortunate enough to be raised in a my mom was there, my dad was there, for most of my life. So when it comes to marriage, I see marriage in a different way. So I wouldn't even now, having the education that I have, I would look into it. But getting into a marriage, that would probably not be one of my main concern, because I would feel like it's qualifying the feelings and the emotion, and to justify it, and what should I do with it? Because to me, if a woman get into debt, right, first I would think is, okay, this is society who imposed to her she needs to get that. Maybe she went to law school or whatever, right? So now she gets stuck. Now she bring that to the marriage. It's like, oh, okay, now it's our responsibility. Now, this is when, as a man, I have to do my evaluation. Is, okay, is that love or is it lust? Do I see you with me 10 years from now? Am I willing to put a ring on your finger and raise a family with you. That will justify if I want to get into the marriage or not. But me personally, I don't think the student loan would play a major factor, as long the woman show me that she has her head in the shoulder and she's
Right.
not here to cause any drama, no baby mama's drama. Like, she's really like serious about life. And if I can pick up that energy from her, from there, my intuition would say, you know what? This is the right woman that, I can actually grow a family with, but anything outside of my intuition telling me to get with a woman and get in a marriage, nah, it's not going to happen. It really wouldn't happen. If I'm looking at logically, Julian, to fully answer your question, I wouldn't get into it. But if I'm looking at it in a more of in a different side of the spectrum, it wouldn't be a big issue to me.
For sure. I understand. And it's something that, that's just something to think about. And
definitely.
And it always depends on, what they do as well. If they have that much debt, like they can't be in a career making $30,000 to $40,000 a year. Like now you have to pick up slack too. You have to be willing to take on that, that debt or liability and stuff. But if they are in a career and, they in something that makes sense and they're making maybe almost six figures, like 80,000 or more. Now that makes sense. They can pay those student loans off, or or you can pay them off regardless. But
exactly, yeah,
like that.
One thing I want to add to, one thing we must understand, and this is finance, by the way, but everything connected. One perspective I want to share as well. Understand that this woman never had any type of leadership in her house,
right.
In her life. Maybe all the men in her life or father wasn't there. She's pretty much clueless of what she's doing. So maybe that leadership as when she meet a man like me, like I'm a leader, like I'm gonna call it out. When she meet a man like me, maybe I can bring that father figure she never had. And to understand that when you are building, you are truly building. If you want to get rid of that $100,000 student loan, you must be able to understand that there are some things you don't know. And all the garbage, all the pride you have with you, you need to keep that outside of the door, because you met a real man right now. And a real man gonna teach you some real stuff. So all the stuff you learn out there, leave it out the door and come in the real world and meet a real man. Because a real man don't take crap from you. A real man don't take it. A real man say, hey, this is where I see us going. Are you in or are you out?
Bro, you couldn't say it any better.
Bro, but I'm gonna keep it right there.
Yeah. No, we didn't even get to the part, but so you weigh your options with college. We have another alternative, which is something into the insurance industry, which is beautiful. And we covered this, more on life insurance agents and brokers a few episodes ago. You can go back and listen to that more in depth into this industry. So to become a life insurance agent, the average salary is around $70,000 a year. Yeah, it's commission, but there are companies out here who feed you leads. There's companies, you can go either way. There's so many routes to go in the life insurance. And once you get into this career, say you get a year or two in the life insurance sales, you can move on into a different part of the life insurance industry. There's other things from marketing to account management. There's, underwriting. There's so many sectors into this, in this industry, in this career. So you can really start as a sales agent at the age of 18. Once you graduate, once you get that diploma from high school, you can go in and be a life insurance agent. And this is something that we're going to start kicking into the school system here. So we're going to be going around to, all of the schools around Orange County, Orange, Seminole, wherever, like, what's that, Polk County you're in, wherever we need to go. And we're going to start getting into these schools and teaching these kids about a different route, an alternative route that you can take for college. Other than college, or even if you wanted to go to trade, or if you didn't want to do trade school or the military, you could come this route into becoming a financial professional in the life insurance game. Like you can really get a life insurance license for under $200 to $300 and not be in debt. or you can go to college and hey, you may have that, you get the experience and everything, but after college you're in hundreds of $1,000s of debt. So it's like, are you willing to do that bid, or do you need that instant gratification? And that also comes from the household you're brought up in. Are your parents teaching you these things? Not everybody's teaching them, but if we can come and expose this to and give other options, I think it's a good idea. I think it'll be a good thing.
It's a beautiful idea, and this is what I was so excited about. If you follow me on Facebook, I post that about Governor DeSantis put it as a requirement for high school students to take a financial class before graduating. To me, that's major, you know. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. And you know one thing as well, Julian, as we getting into this kind of topic, here's what I mentioned, and I may be wrong, but follow me here, because as you was talking, I started thinking, right? Okay. Over here in the US, we've been taught by the time somebody's 18, they on their own, they're a full adult, they can do whatever they want, right? So the child is looking for that independency where, okay, I'm 18 now, I'm good. At 18, you foolish, you're a child, you stupid. I'm telling you right now, most of you out there listening to this, okay? You can be a nice person, but mentally you probably still stupid, okay? Okay, why? Because your emotion, your hormone, that's when they really kicks in. You don't understand life. You're questioning your life. What do you want in life? You're still a child, okay? I'm 34 years old. I'm going to be 34. I can say that. Okay, because I've been there. Now, you look at the success rate of immigrants that came to this country at maybe over 18 years old. Do you know, I can guarantee you, most of these immigrants, they never heard of the fact that they are grown at 18. So let me explain to you what that means in real English. You could be 30 years old and still live at your mama house in Haiti. Like you never grown. So why am I telling you this right now? If you're 18 years old, you're listening to this. That whole grown stuff, don't fall for it at 18. Yes, there's a lot of people who become successful and, they went to the school of hard knocks, they make it, right? But if I were you right now listening to this, I'm 18 and 19 years old, I would say, you know what? Let me have a conversation with my parents again. Hey, mom, dad, can I talk to you? Yes. How can I help you? Remember the time I make you mad and you said that you cannot wait for me to turn 18 so I can leave the house? Can I still stay in the house if I turn 18 if I behave? I promise you they're going to say yes. And here's what I would do if I were you. I'm 18 years old. I would really give the financial world a try.
Mm-hmm.
I would really give the financial industry world a try.
Think about it. Honestly. Imagine if you come in the game at 18. Really think about it. Let's do the math. They say it takes 7 to 10 years to become a millionaire. If you come in at 18, you're looking at like 25, 27,
28.
25, 27, 28 for you to become a millionaire before 30.
Yeah.
Off of a $300, $400 investment, maybe 300 or less, honestly.
Yeah.
And you can become a millionaire in 10 years. Like, these are the possibilities. Like, it's been done and proven, and statistics show that. Like, it takes that long, but with systems, the way times are now in technology and systems that are in place, you could become a millionaire in the insurance game quicker than 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's through agency building. That's through becoming a better you, and it's going to teach you the life skills that you won't get in college. You're going to learn how to critically think. You're going to have to learn how to think on your toes when you're talking to people. Like if somebody gives a rebuttal or somebody comes up with an excuse, you have to find a way to rebuttal against that excuse. You're going to learn more than you would learn in college, just interacting with people every day on the phone or in person. So you're getting skills that not many people have, and you can go from here. If you say you didn't like it, and you did a year or two, that experience can go and get you a sales job anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can go get a job doing whatever. Like the life insurance industry keeps you versatile, and you don't have to have a degree to become an agent. Like you can even do a year or two in this industry and then go and become a certified financial planner. You can go to school and become a financial advisor. These are things that you can do, but without going to college.
100%. And I don't think people think of this stuff enough. And I mean,
it's not marketed.
It's not marketed to them.
Nobody's marketing it to us.
It's not marketed to them. Yeah.
They put the life insurance commercials on the golf channel. We're not watching golf.
There you go. I don't know if you heard that story. Golf. When I said what Julian is referring to, I was teaching a class, and it was a couple episodes ago. If you listen to that episode, you're gonna hear that story again, right? So I was doing I was in front of a class doing a presentation, and when I start showing life insurance companies logos, nobody knew who these companies was except for one kid that was sitting to my right. And like, oh yeah, I know these companies. Oh really? Yeah, they're on TV. I see them on TV. Oh, okay. Come to find out, his father watch golf and he see those companies commercial on the golf channel. But guess what? Us as black people, when was the last time you watched golf? And if you think of the sport golf, who does it associate it with? Wealthy people or non-wealthy people? It's wealthy people. So that's where these companies market themselves, because their main target are the wealthy individual, because the wealthy individual are educating themselves about the value of life insurance. But when it comes to the lower tier in our community, they have to make a hard sell to you, because what? You have no idea what that is. And this is where the gap is. They're not going to come to your front door and market to you.
Right.
You know when you're going to probably find a life insurance market to you? I'm going to tell you that right now.
This podcast.
Yeah, this podcast. There you go. This podcast. But you know, maybe your grandma just turned 50, 60 years old or 65 years old. And they probably find like one of the final expense company, do a paid marketing, and then you receive a flyer to get a final expense plan, because guess what? Grandma's about to die pretty soon. She need a burial coverage. Right. And that's probably the only time in the lower community you find, I'm not gonna say the only time, one of the few times you find in the lower community life insurance actually being advertised to you. But other than that, the wealth building concept behind life insurance, it's not marketed. It's really not marketed.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's really not, man.
And that's why if you look into this career other than college, insurance companies will pay you great money to go and market these products to people that look like you.
Exactly.
So you could come into the community, you can start an insurance career with regardless what you have, or if you're 18, 19, if you're 30, if you're 40, 45, 50, you can start an insurance career and change your life, turn your life around with a simple investment of $250 to $300. Like these are possibilities that, are limitless. You have a license that can make you millions of dollars. It can make you six figures easily. And there's so many different sectors to it. Like James just said, you have burial expenses. You can even focus strictly on selling that type of policy. You can focus on selling what we have, what we sell a lot, IULs or, permanent insurance. You can sell term insurance. You can sell, long-term care, short-term health insurance. There's so many ways you can get into this industry and focus on so many different markets within it that the limits, it's limitless. Honestly,
it's limitless.
And, like we can literally make so much change by just shifting a small percentage of individuals into this sector, into this industry, if they don't want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like that's people. We need more people to sell, life insurance to people like us and market it to people that look like us. We need that. We need to create an ecosystem. So that is one of our goals, to get into the school system, to get into the youth and start teaching them these concepts, start teaching them a new way that they can make money by helping other people out. Like, you imagine if each student came in and we sat down with their family, discussed with their family, like, hey, we could even sponsor scholarships to get them licensed. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
get them licensed, boom, they can start this career and we can guide them and teach them how to make, 5 to 6 figures in 1 to 2 or 3 years, depending on their drive, their work ethic, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like it's impossible. That's very well doable. If you can tell kids and market to them by the time they graduate and hit 18, graduate from high school, get that diploma, by year 3 to 4, you'll be a 6-figure earner. You don't think people would do it? That's like doing a 4-year bid in college and going to and settling for a $30,000 degree. Instead of doing that, you making 6 figures.
100%. And it's very doable because the average, depending on which industry, which company you become to be part of. So that's why we really recommend you come to us, because we're just giving you the free game. You don't have to come with us. We would love for you to come with us, and we hold your hand to the process because we're experienced. That makes sense. But on average, let me break it down to you. On average, when you get with the right company, when you help one person, you're making from $800 to about $1,100-$1,200 per transaction. So when you have to be at 100% commission, it's But anyway, when you look at that, how long does it take an average person to make, let's just say, $1,000? They probably work a whole week or almost a whole week in most industries to make $1,000.
Right.
So you can literally sit down with a person, you make that in about an hour, maximum maybe 2 hours. So when you understand that concept, you said, you know what, maybe it's worth giving this a try.
All right.
And when you come in, we're gonna teach you wherever state you are. We're not limited to Florida. Whichever state you are in the US, we can teach you how to get licensed, and we teach you how to get contract with these companies, and we teach you how to set up those products for you and your family, and we teach you how to go out there and market yourself, and you can become successful in this. So it's a no-brainer. It's a great option for those who are very undecisive, not too sure what to do. It's a great alternative to join the financial world, because at the end of the day, what are you trying to make? You're trying to make money, right? Finance. So it would make sense for you to join the financial world because you're trying to make money.
Exactly. So. And it makes the most millionaires out of all industries, the financial industry. It's not real estate, guys, it's finances. So the one thing that is very taboo in our community is finances. So since it's taboo, why not figure it out? Like, what's so scary? And people are scared of it. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but when things feel like that, you need to attack it. If you feel scared, if you feel unsure, attack it. That's what I did. It was something that I was lacking, and what I did was like, okay, well, I need this. I need to understand how this works. And now I pretty much built a bulletproof foundation because I entered into a industry where the thing that matters the most when it comes to building business, your finances, matters the most. All of that other stuff doesn't matter. The marketing stuff doesn't work. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't thrive, and it can't last if your finances aren't in order.
100%.
I've seen it too many times. I've seen it hit the ground so many times. Like, from the best of the best marketers out there, if your finances aren't together, if you don't understand finances a little bit, or if you don't have a team that is solid that understands finances, like, you eventually will have to hit the ground. Like, you will eventually crash.
100%. Like one of our guests said, you need to have a financial team.
Seriously.
Like, you really need to have a financial team, and it's not something that's gonna cost you money or a lot of money. But when you think of finances, do you understand how taxes work? Well, you need somebody in your team to teach you how taxes work. Do you understand how compound interest work? Well, you need somebody in your team to teach you how that works. Do you understand how life insurance work? Do you understand how asset protection work? You need somebody in your circle to teach you these things if you don't know about them. So once you have that financial team, before you make a financial stupid decision, you're gonna call your tax person and say, hey, listen, here's what I was thinking. Do you think it's wise? And from there, a professional can say, you know what, based on my experience, here's what I've seen stuff like that happen. So I think it's actually wise for you to make that move. Or I don't think it's fully wise. Or, you know what, I think these are a couple of things you have to consider before making that decision. How powerful is that?
I
You
think you
need a
just hit it,
financial.
bro.
Mhm.
You just hit it on the spot. That's the thing. That's it right there. I honestly think people are afraid of that accountability.
Mhm.
Somebody telling them no, that they can't do something really. I think that's built up trauma or things from
Yeah.
like I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want nobody telling me what to do with my finances. And that I think that's where that comes from, and why people kind of shy away from the conversation. Because
Mhm.
even still when we go to events and we meet up with people, there's still certain people that just won't really talk to us.
Yep.
Like it's just like walk away because it's an uncomfortable conversation. Like, I can we talk finances. I can have a conversation with somebody in the first 10 minutes, in the first 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds. I already know what that person is about because I'm gonna bring up finances. If you can't speak financial or anything with numbers with me, I already know your life is a shambles somewhere. It's just because it correlates too much in this life, in this world that we live in.
Mhm.
Everything is revolved around finances, economics, numbers. So
Everything.
everything around us goes off of numbers. Whether the school system and everything goes off of numbers, like that, the taxes that you pay in your community goes to the school. Like it funds everything around you. So when people don't even understand that, I know that I can't have a conversation with them about finances, because if you don't even understand where your taxes go and the taxes that you pay on your house, if you have a house, or the taxes that you're paying every week out of your check or every 2 weeks out of your check, if you don't know where that money's going, man, it's hard to have a conversation with you about finances. And I already know where your mental is. So it's either like I'm gonna check out or you're gonna check out, and it just won't work. At that moment it won't.
Straight
But
up.
and that's fine. But as long as we get the information to people, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, they will come along slowly but surely. They'll start hearing, oh, that's what he was talking about. Oh, that's what so and so was talking about. As they, progress and go along the journey. But it's just that fact of people not wanting that accountability. I think, like, honestly, that's the major thing when it comes to the finances in our community.
And you know what's funny? That if you're listening to everything Julian just said about you not wanting to open up, or you don't feel comfortable about it, or you don't think, hey, I want to do what I want to do. You know what? The most wealthy people, they have advisors,
Hmm.
and these people advise them on what they should or they should not do when it comes to investment, on how they're going to operate in life.
Right.
In life, you need counsel in almost everything you're doing.
Hmm.
Just to follow up a little bit on the marriage thing we spoke about, if you're looking to have a successful marriage and you're really willing to take your life serious about marriages, why are you still hanging with single people? You don't add up. You find someone who perceive to have at least a strong foundation in their marriage, and you talk to them and start getting advice from them, what to expect on your future spouse, your future husband, your future wife and whatnot. So that will give you an idea of what that world is. One thing I'm going to share with you guys before, because we're getting over time. One thing I'm going to share with you guys before we checked out is understanding the condition our communities is currently in. There is a reason why your mom and dad, they feel some type of way talking to you about finances.
Mm.
There's a reason why your grandma and your grandpa felt some type of way talking to your mom and dad about finances. There is a reason for that. They are strategic plan to target our community to make this conversation uncomfortable. And the moment it's uncomfortable, we don't feel good talking about it, then it's passed through. We never educate the next generation, and the next generation only take what we give them. And from there, it's a whole bunch of mistake. We are confused. We don't know how money work. We don't know how we work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and nothing is being done. We're still in the same place. Why? Because it's been conditioned for our community to operate like that. It's been conditioned for that. So
Right.
you listening to this right now, at whatever point, whether it's tonight or a year or 20 years, let me tell you, man, educate yourself when it comes to finances. and is going to have a big impact in your life. And I'm gonna let you go with that story. I was listening to a sermon, and I hear it many times, but it was from Joel Osteen, and you guys know who this Joel Osteen is. If you don't, just look him up. I'm not getting paid for that. But anyway, he was telling a story, and I think it was probably 7 years ago I was watching this. I remember it because, it left a mark on me. There's a story about there's this woman. She was cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and every time she's cooking Thanksgiving dinner, she always cut both ends of the ham. So one day the husband asked, "Why, babe, tell me, every time you preparing the ham, you cut each side. Can you tell me why?" Listen to this. You know what the wife said? "You know what? I don't know. That's how my mom usually do it." Okay, well, let's call mom. Mom came to dinner. "Hey, mom, listen, here's the situation. She always cut each end of the ham." And she said, "That's how you taught it to her. Can we ask you? We want to know why." Oh, the mom said, "Well, the reason I did that is because my mom taught me that." Like, okay, you know what? We got to get grandma on the phone. They call grandma. "Hey, grandma, here's the situation here. 3 generations later, my wife is actually cutting each piece of the ham. And, her mom did it. Now we're coming to you. Why did you always cut the end of the ham? Because we don't understand. Why is it so important?" You know what the grandma said? The grandma said, "Well, I cut the end of each ham is because my pen was too small." You understand what just happened here? Her pen was too small. That's why she cut the ham, so the ham can fit in the pen.
Right.
But because the daughter sees that, she duplicate that, and their daughter duplicate that. 3 generations later, they're cutting the ham. They don't even know why.
That's common.
So why am I telling you this right now at the end of this show? And I didn't even plan to say this story. Whatever behavior you have, whether it's financially, emotionally, whatever behaviors you have, it's simply because your environment at one point instilled that in you. And the moment it is within you, you're going to act based of that belief, and you don't even know why you are doing it.
Right.
So why are we financially broken? We don't know. Why is it men are separating from their wife? We don't know. Why do we have a lot of baby mamas out there? We don't know. Why do we have a lot of, you ain't crap baby daddies out there? We don't know. Well, you know why? It's simply because of that same story of the pan. At one point, somebody started this,
right,
and you were the exact effect of that outcome. So it's time for us as a community to get back and really understand, like, okay, what's going on with me? Mom was broke, dad was broke. Mom was always stressed, dad was always stressed. Why am I feeling stressed right now? And why am I raising kid? And I feel that I have to stress them out in order for me to feel better about myself. And 100% of the time, well, I'll say close to 100% of the time, main focus or main reason of the stress is finances.
Absolutely.
It's time for us to do an evaluation and
Most
really
of the
find out
time.
what that is. And I just had to give you that game right there, I
Yes,
felt in
sir.
the zone for a second,
Yeah, that was good. That was a really, really good story there, and it hit on a point. And I think that is something that goes on, and we're not aware of it. You're not even really, you don't know. I remember at a point in time in life where I didn't know why I was doing certain things. Like, you just kind of just go with the flow of how you were raised, or you just, this is how things are. So you just move with it without really ever questioning it. And you have to really think, like, why am I not questioning stuff? Because the human mind is supposed to question things. That's what the human experience is about, is being inquisitive and questioning things, and understanding and knowledge, and gaining more knowledge. That's what it's about. But they cut that off. Some way back in time, they cut that off from people.
Can I say something, man?
Yeah,
Before you even go, because I feel like I'll probably forget to read this to you, because I pulled it up earlier. And most of you probably hear that already, and I'm gonna say it. That's from the Rockefellers, right? Rockefeller said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Just to back up what you said, Julian. Because if we can sit back and think and evaluate, well, why are things the way they are? And you start asking some question, you are going against the status quo.
Yeah.
Shut up and do what we tell you to do. That's the motto.
That's the model. That's been the model in our households, in our community. Honestly, it's just like people just shut up because their parents said shut up because I said so, without really explaining on why not to do this. I don't want to go to college. Why not? Shut up because I said do it. I did it, so you need to do it.
Exactly.
And that's not good advice.
It's not.
That's not good advice at all. Like, just do it because I said so. Like, I'm so against that, bro. Like, honestly, like, that makes me cringe. Like, to do it because I said so type of attitude, or talking down on youth and talking down on the younger generation, like that, I despise that. Like, I don't respect any older, grown up, whatever, who does that. I don't respect them. Like, I don't care how old you are. I don't respect people based off of your age. I respect you off of your character and who you are and how you treat people. And I don't care if that child is younger than you. If that child want to ask you a question, let them ask you a question. You're an adult, now answer the question confidently. If you don't know, tell them you don't know. Like, telling them to shut up and all of that, that's not going to do anything but make it worse for you in the long run with them. And that's just going to hurt a relationship with a child. And that's just something I'm super passionate about too, man, because I don't like when the older generation talks down on the younger generation. That's why there's a disconnect now, because people you're not supposed to, an older generation is supposed to give the younger generation a game to take the game to the next level. In our community, it's the opposite. It's like the older generation competes with the younger generation, and that's what you call regressive. And now you're going back. You're not progressing. You're regressing, because now you have older people who telling the younger generation, "No, we want it this way," and the younger generation seeing a different way of life, but the older people are telling them like, "No, that's not the way." And you don't know what you're doing. Shut up. You're stupid. You don't know that. And when you put that stuff inside a kid, like, you can harm them for life.
100%. They'll grow with that, and that type of behavior either make them or break them.
Oh yeah.
Either make them or break them. And a lot of time, especially in society right now, you have a higher chance of that kid being broken than being made. Because it's tough, man. It's tough because I have kids right now, and I know we're going over time, but anyway, it don't matter. I have kids right now, and not too long ago, I was telling my wife that there is some kind of I'm gonna tell you straight up, right? My kids, when they wake up, we said, "Hey, don't come downstairs by yourself," right? And I woke up the other day, and my daughter and my son, they both was downstairs, and they weren't doing anything bad. They was just sitting down, just minding their own business, and the TV was on. And I said to them, "Hey, like, hi, Daddy. They're so happy to see me." And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to take that happiness away, right? Because they know they're not supposed to be downstairs by themselves. Especially my son, he's artistic. Sometimes he just run around, Right. So I said, "Did Mommy approve for you guys to come down here this morning?" And my daughter looked at me and said, "No." I said, "So then what are you doing downstairs so early?" She said, "Well, Daddy, we just got bored." Because they wake up early. Like, they wake up before. We got bored, and then we come down here to watch TV. You know what I said to them? I said nothing to them. And then I spoke with my wife and said, "Baby, we have to change some stuff around. We need to start teaching them before they come downstairs. They need to knock at the door to let us know they're going to be downstairs. Because we cannot just tell them, 'Hey, don't go downstairs,' because now that's taking away from the child freedom, especially if they was behaving downstairs." So that's just to back up what you said, is sometimes people just telling you, "Hey, don't do it because I said so." No, it's not always like that. You don't want to impose that on a child, because at one point, the child feel free and they feel like they can become anything and they can do anything. But as they're feeling that, and you telling them they can be anything and and do anything they want and become anyone they want. In the same token, you're telling them not to do something, not to do this, not to do
Yeah.
that. They go to the school, sit down, be
Yeah.
quiet. They go
Yeah.
everywhere. You got to
You
stay
are-
in the line. You got to do this. You got to do that. But yet you want them to believe they can do anything.
Right. You oppressing them, not what unwillingly knowing that you're oppressing your child. Unwillingly knowing it.
Unwilling. Yes.
You're literally oppressing them, and you're complaining about the white man oppressing them, but you're turning around and doing the same thing.
Same thing.
Like literally the same thing, because it's subconsciously ingrained in you to do the same thing because it's been done to you. And that's the psychological generational things that have been going on.
It keeps going
from generation to generation. And that's why I was saying, like, there's the disconnect between the older and the younger generation because of that, where one wants to, you're competing instead of passing the torch off, you're competing with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you competing with somebody younger than you anyways? Like, you missed your chance. You had your chance to do what you needed to do. Like, now sit back and let the younger generation lead. But most people don't want to do that. Most people want to, their ego and pride is just too high. Like, well, they don't know and all of this. Let the younger generation lead, and you lead from the back, and let them lead from the front.
There you go. You become that support, that backbone they need when it comes to the wisdom,
the real elders.
When it comes to, you know, hey, when I was 25, this is what I went through. When I was 30, this is what I went through. Now, this is the route I went, and obviously it didn't really fully work for me, but at least, you know, that route is not fully, you know, something to consider. This is the guidance the next generation really needs from, you know, the older generation. And in the same token, you can only give what you have, Julian. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
You can only give out what you have. If you don't have it, the only way you can give it out is through wisdom. And from that wisdom, maybe you can find out someone else who can provide that information to the next generation. And you humble yourself to provide them the tools and the skill they need to lead.
Right.
Because, you know, you know, for most of the adults out there, you have to understand the future is in our hand. And when you see a kid possess leadership characteristic, the worst thing you can do to them is put them in a box and kill them with your beliefs.
Wow.
So
many of those. So many of those, bro. Like, but we're gonna,
it has to be said,
we're gonna have to do our job and hopefully cultivate more leaders, you know, especially in this industry, man. Let's get
100%
some new leaders, some new faces to the life insurance and the financial industry, man. We need it. We need the youth to come and help, you know, help the older generation. Maybe that may help connect, you know, reconnect that disconnection that's been there.
Yep.
And like, hey, you guys, let's talk about these real things, life insurance. Let's talk about getting covered. And you go sit with your family. Imagine being an 18-year-old going to sit with your family and discuss things y'all have never talked about before. That's an uncomfortable topic and subject. But for them to bring somebody there to their house, a professional to their house at 18 years old, I think that would be mind opening to their parents. It may be a little rough at first, but that would, like, wow, if they see their child progressing in the industry, I think like that will make a big impact on people for sure.
100%. I totally agree, because the whole concept is, and I've had those moments so many times where I would take a young individual to the field with me, and I sit across the table with his or her parents, and when they find out exactly what their son and their daughters are learning, they feel so proud. They feel so proud, because I guarantee you right now, listening to this at 18 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, there's a lot of things. Once you decide to participate in this world, there's a lot of things you'll be teaching your parents, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your surrounding. They would die never knowing these things exist. And you'll be the reason to bring those things into the attention. So, you know, it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. So we're gonna do the best we can to bridge that gap, to bring value and influence you, that the listeners, you know, whether you listen today or 10 years from now, influence you to get in the financial world because there's a lot of things you don't know.
Yeah.
Money is not about make money and use money. No, it's make money and how can I make that money I just make to work for me?
Right. Make
Or
more
I
money.
have no money. How do I use a strategy to use other people's money or PM
Mhm.
to actually build a business without coming zero out of pocket or little to
At
zero out of
risk.
pocket?
Yeah.
You
The
know,
game, you don't have to put the risk on you. Like you
you
don't
don't.
have to. Just need a little knowledge here. Wipe up your credit, get that clean. That's the number one thing, y'all. Credit.
Credit is the number one
Understanding
thing.
credit and getting your credit. Um, just getting in the 700s. If you're a guy, you're a male, you're a black man out here. Focus on your credit. Like it's possible. It's possible to run your credit up and to understand it and to build your credit. If you need help with that, reach out to us. We help in those areas. And if you want to go in and buy your first asset and invest in real estate, reach out to us. We can help in those areas. Like these are things that we can get you on the path of doing. You just need to reach out. Again, that's at the www.theagentandbroker.com. Fill out a form. Let us know where you need help at, whether it's credit, whether it's life insurance needs, whether it is budgeting, whatever you need help with. Let us know. Real estate, if you want to invest into that, if you want to go buy a boat, you want to start a business, let us know. We can help in different areas. We can help guide you. If you need a strong financial team, let us know. We can help show you different things and give you a different perspective on certain things. But like I said, credit is that number one thing,
Yep.
and once you understand that, you will understand like, okay, you can start leveraging debt. You can start, like James said, using other people's money to make money, and realizing that money is just a tool. It's all an illusion. You can create and do whatever you want to do out here. It's just up to you, your mindset, where you are,
Mm-hmm.
and like what's put in your mind, and what are you feeding yourself every day. That's important.
100%.
You gotta feed the mind every day. You have to feed it something. You either feeding it or you're starving it. Like
That's facts right there. There's
seriously,
no in
like
between.
it's either or, and it's just like once you starve it, man, like it's hard to get out of those ruts. It's extremely hard to get out, to conquer and get out of a very depressive state of mind. That's extremely hard,
That's true.
and I applaud anybody that can get out of that, honestly. But we won't be too much longer, y'all. So we're gonna wrap up and close. We hope
Yes,
you
sir.
learned a lot about the student loans and college, and the options that people in the youth can take now. You got college; it's still an option. Unless you're going to get a degree in something that means construction, engineering, anything like that. Any trades or stuff like tech degrees are really good as well, like computer science. You can go and get a coding degree and learn how to code, or be an IT analyst. Those are in demand skills that you can still go to college for. But here's another alternative, like, hey, what are you striving for? Do you want to be financially successful, or do you really love to, like, if you really love to build, if you really love to do, really want to become a doctor or really want to do these things, then okay, yes, school is the route for you. But a lot of people don't want to, they don't know what they want to do. Hey, come try something else out. Come try a career in life insurance, and then explore the options from there. You don't have to stay in the sales sector all your entire career. You
Mm-hmm.
can explore it. Once you get that experience, you're good. You're good to go in the industry and really like go and get the knowledge anywhere else, and possibly apply for a job wherever.
100%. Yeah, because with that license as well, some companies would hire you and pay you top dollar just to
Absolutely.
help them, and the sector they're looking for.
Hmm.
But yeah, man. So yeah, we hope you guys learn a lot today. I mean, we know this is about finance, but this is real life. It's
Yeah.
the transparency that we're bringing to you from the life
Hmm.
insurance company with our people, and also the transparency as being agents and brokers to know that hey, this is real, this is raw.
Yeah.
This is like raw information.
Hmm.
So we get very vulnerable in this podcast to let you know about our experiences, let you know our beliefs, let you know what we find out that you need to know about. So hopefully you guys see value in this and reach out and say, you know what, let me go ahead and get my insurance license and really give this a try. So reach out to us, and that's gonna be, probably one of the best thing you've done for your life, because me right now, that's all I do in the insurance world. That's my full-time career. I'm married, I have 2 kids, and I have a dog that's barking. I hope you don't hear that dog. He keep barking.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just hope to bring you a lot of content and bring you value so you can make an educated decision. So this is the whole goal of our podcast.
Absolutely. And remember, next week we have a special guest, former NFL player. You guys want to know about trucking and running multiple businesses. Again, another NFL player from football to running successful businesses. It's not easy, but the transition is there, and we're happy to have him on. And then the following week after that, we have another special guest where we'll be talking real estate. You guys are going to be learning from one of the best in the local area, which is Gene. Brother Gene, he's going to come and give some really dope game. I can't wait for that one, because he's somebody who uses his life insurance policy, to invest as well. So that's going to be a really good conversation to have. I can't wait to bring on more and more people who do that same thing. Like, it's crazy, man. We met so many people this past weekend, and we continue to meet people and people who are interested in coming on. Like, I'm excited about this podcast and where it's going.
Yes, sir. 100%. And we're excited for every single one of you that's listening, every single supporters out there that's downloading this podcast, and every single one of you that's leaving comment and like this content and sharing it with your family. So we're very excited about all of that. So from the bottom of our heart and the organization, we want to thank you and continue to support us, and so we can create a strong foundation for our community when it comes to finances, and we can grow as a community, we can grow as families, and we can even influence fathers and mothers to stay together at one point, because our communities definitely need that partnership to actually grow.
Yeah, absolutely. So the link is right there, www.theagentandbroker.com. Also, sponsor LVNU Financial and Connecting America LLC. Those are our brands as well. We're sponsoring the podcast here, so we keep everything in house. We showing y'all the game, how we keep everything in house right here. Eventually, we will be having more sponsorships, but as of right now, we are sponsoring the podcast. So please, like James said, share it, like, comment, subscribe. Let your family know, let your friends know, share it to everybody, let them know, because we are doing this pretty much off the muscle, off of our, our money. We're sponsoring this podcast, and we're bringing this valuable information because we know that it is needed, and we truly 100%. Appreciate everybody who listens and everybody who's tuning into this and supporting our brands and what we're doing. So I wanted to personally thank you guys as well. And be sure to tune in these next few weeks. It's going to be a dope, even in the future, it's going to be really dope. We're going to be doing a lot of big things, a lot of giveaways, events. So stay with us, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Stay with us. And follow every content, and we promise you're going to always keep enjoying those episodes. So until next time, I see Kristen. I'm gonna put Kristen on the spot, right? She just put a comment. By the way, Kristen went out there in that event. I know we said that at the beginning. She killed it. So thank you again, Kristen, for your support. We really appreciate you showing up, and actually, you did your thing over there. But anyway, until next time, I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and I guess we'll see you next Monday.
Yes, sir. We see y'all later.
The agent and the broker put you on the right path. And if it ain't adding up, then do the right math. And when you wanna come up, some might laugh, but them be the types to be the overnight staff. Always be a worker, we tryna be some owners. Sometimes might strike out, sometimes we hitting homers. But one thing's for sure, when the money gets uncovered, hit the agent and the broker. Say thank you to my brothers.